I don't know if it's recording. Anyway, so, hi. Uh, a long time ago, like over a year, I made a video about dealing with anxiety disorder and panic attacks, stuff like that. And you guys have asked me to make another video, and I was going to, and then I got sick, and then I got busy with stuff, and then I got sick again, and it was unfortunate. And then I was gonna make it, and then I got it was like a bacterial respiratory thing, which I still kind of have, and it was not good. So, I finally have a chance to make it, and I'm really excited about it. So last video that I made, um, like forever ago, because I just watched it the other day, because I wanted to see what I said, and basically all all I talked about was like vitamins and stuff that you can take, and it was really just like a basic um, overview of everything that I knew at the time. And a year has gone by, over a year, and things are different. So, just for those of you who don't know, I am 20 years old, and I came down with panic disorder um, when I was 17. Um, and it sucked because I didn't know what it was. So I thought I was just getting the flu all the time. And I was just always sick, and I couldn't understand why, and it didn't make sense to me until finally my mom was like, dude, I think you're just really anxious, and I think you just have an anxiety disorder. So then she started buying me books on it, and I started reading those books, and I would read testimonials in those books of panic attacks, and I would be like, oh my god, that is exactly what I'm going through. So, that's what I did, and then I was introduced to this lady, and she also has panic disorder, and she is like in her 40s, so she's been dealing with this for like ever. And we found a book that we decided that we wanted to go through, and this is the book. And it has been really super helpful. I'm not quite done with it. I think there's like 7 or 6 chapters left. It's taken a while just because we're both working on it together. Some of the chapters are really long, and there's some work to do. But anyway, so if you're struggling with anxiety disorder, I highly recommend this. Or if you have a friend who's struggling with anxiety disorder, I recommend this. It's by Dr. Archibald Hart. So, I was having panic attacks, and I was super anxious all of the time until basically New Year. And I'm just gonna get it out of the way because I know some of you guys aren't gonna like this, and that's okay. Um, but really, what's changed for me is I've gotten more involved with my church, and I've started praying and reading my Bible more, and I've been making my relationship with God a bigger priority in my life, and with the understanding that I don't have to feel guilty for bad things that I do because I'm forgiven and I'm free. And I had a lady sit down with me, um, and she was very tender and very compassionate, and basically just gave me the gospel uh, as it's truly intended to be given. And basically, my anxiety symptoms just kind of were manageable. Like, I didn't feel like I needed to stay home. I didn't feel like I had the flu. I felt anxious, but I recognized it as anxiety. Does that make sense? So, I promise I will try to make that the only Bible, God thing, religious thing in the video. I'll do my best. But anyway, so, this is what I have found has helped me, besides what I just said, with anxiety. So, the first thing is relaxation. Not just right before I'm doing something that is going to make me feel really anxious, but um, all the time on like a daily basis. So the things that I do to relax are I journal, and I play the piano, and I keep my room clean. Another thing that's really helped me, I think, with dealing with anxiety is that I am in a new room. So I lived in one room for 10 years, and I came down with this anxiety disorder in that room, and I'm in a different room, and I'm sure you guys can maybe tell, unless this is the first video you've seen, and then you'd have no reference, but yeah, I'm in a different room, and that has really helped me. And I understand for some of you that might not be possible, and that, you know, just gonna be okay. So, um, so I keep that said room clean that I'm in, and I keep it, for the most part, decluttered. My washer machine broke, so don't judge me. Anyway, so keeping it clean, keeping my room clean and decluttered has really helped cut down on the anxiety. Also taking baths regularly. I'm a girl. I'm a girly girl. I like being girly, so painting my nails, doing pretty stuff like that, that really helps me to relax, which cuts down on anxiety. And when I am in an anxious situation, it helps me to be able to deal with that. The other thing, obviously, as I said before, praying really helps, but also talking with other people. Not just about anxiety, but just building relationships with people really helps. Because if you have anxiety, I'm sure you know, it causes isolation, and isolation and anxiety feed off of each other, right? So you're anxious, so then you isolate yourself, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse, and it just keeps piling on itself. And so the best thing that I can say is don't isolate yourself. That's gonna really help, because all the times I've felt like I was getting better, I was being with people, I was doing things. I wasn't just hiding in my room being really anxious all the time. I was being with people, building relationships, doing things that matter. And so that's really helped me. And then the other thing is breathing techniques and exercises. I didn't realize it before, but in this book it talks about relaxation and breathing. It has like a relaxation exercise. I'm not a huge fan of it, but whatever. So next time you're anxious, just pay attention to your breathing, because you're probably going to find that you're breathing from your chest. Anxious people breathe from their chest, so try breathing from down here. So the other thing that I'm planning on experimenting with is exercise. Obviously, diet affects it. My diet has gotten a lot cleaner. I avoid gluten as much as possible, and I eat a lot of fruits and veggies. But the other thing is exercise, and this is a ginormous workbook called the Anxiety Phobia Workbook, as you can read. And it's got a lot of different exercises and stuff. Or not exercises, it's got chapters. It's got a lot of different chapters in it. And one of the chapters is called Physical Exercise, if I can get to it. And it talks about choosing an exercise program, and then it lists like ice skating, aerobic dancing, calisthenics, ping pong, mini trampoline, yoga, golf, housework, gardening, ballroom dancing, like all this kind of stuff. And then it talks about how to get started and how do you start an exercise program without going to a gym or something like that. Just, kind of doing it at home. And then it has this, which is a daily record sheet. I don't know if you can see it. Basically it just says, what kind of exercise did you do, what time did you do it in, how satisfied are you with it, and reason for not exercising, obviously, on days you don't do it that you were supposed to. So yeah, so that is what I'm planning on exploring. That's the thing I'm planning, or the theory stuff I'm planning on exploring. Right now I'm doing a squat challenge with my friends. We're keeping each other accountable. So yeah, and I found that it's really helped with insomnia. So, bottom line, basic, best techniques, tips, best things that I could possibly give you. So if you come away with 4 things from this video, these are the things I hope you take away. To have a few relaxation techniques, okay? Either you take 20 minutes out of every single day, you sit still, and you focus on your breathing, and you make sure that your breathing is from your gut, where it's supposed to be, and not your chest. And you just sit there and you just breathe for like 20 minutes. Or you commit to journaling for 5 or 10 minutes every single day. And I would suggest having a few things that you can do every single day, and then spreading them throughout the day. The other thing is to get into a group who understands panic and anxiety disorder. That's going to help you not feel quite as isolated, and you're going to be with people who understand what you're going through because they're going through it too. Honestly, that has been one of the biggest, most life-changing things for me, is being able to talk to someone who has panic disorder and who's like, yeah, dude, you're not crazy. I understand it, okay? Because if you're crazy, I'm crazy too, and we have the same delusion. And that's not crazy, because that's impossible. Yeah. So get into a group that understands, and then I highly recommend finding something to work through. If you are religious, I highly recommend this. It talks about God, and stuff a little bit. If you're not religious, honestly, it's a great book, and take what you can and leave what you don't want to mess with. That's totally fine. I mean, it's a book. Like, tell it to pipe down. It's a book. If it's talking, then you're crazy. Or this one, I think, would probably be a really good option too. There are like 4 editions. I just haven't really gotten into it, is all. I'm planning on picking out a few different chapters and working on those by myself. But that's my plan. And then the other thing that I highly recommend is to just ignore the stigma, because you know what? Not a lot of people really understand panic anxiety disorder unless they've had a panic attack or they've been really close to someone who has had that and they've seen it. But even then, they don't really understand it. So there is definitely a stigma. You're not crazy if you feel that way. Just ignore it. It doesn't matter. You can avoid the issue and you can ignore the issue as much as you want, but honestly, you're not going to get any better. You're just going to get worse and worse and more miserable. So just ignore the stigma and work on your issues and just get it done. Get it down. So I hope that this helps you. If you want me to make another video about exercise and how that has helped and what I've hopefully going to have been doing, just leave a comment down below. Or if there's any other video that you want me to do about anything, I would be more than happy to do that at some point. We'll see. No, actually, I am planning on doing more videos more often. Now that my brother is not always down here, because that would mean that I would be like a crazy person talking to my computer. Yeah. So, those 4 things. Leave a comment down below. Tell me if this helps you or not. And, yeah. So, I hope this helps you and have a good day.